We're in a bar, so we had a fight.
Yeah. That's the great Clay. Yes, I know that. Tell me more.
He ripped the shirt and had a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Sits down, went to De La Riva. This is true story.
In a bar.
This is true story.
Especially since Jiu-Jitsu is always evolving.
Yeah.
So I like what Ivan said the previous episode. Like him, even as a black belt, he still is learning. So meaning it's not really even about the belt or the years you've spent on the mats. It's more of still refining the things you've learned, making it applicable as Jiu-Jitsu evolves and grows.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Tap Talk Podcast. My name is RJ.
My name is James.
My name is JR.
And this is episode 6.
Six.
Let's go. Let's get straight into it. This podcast is nothing about BJJ, the Filipino life, Philippines, Pampanga, and everything you are passionate about regarding martial arts. Oh, actually, before we move on, this episode is also brought to you by Wrap It Out, Sunset Valley Jiu Jitsu, and Peace, Love, and Boba, and my YouTube channel, Kuya RJ. So you can support us in any way by signing up for the gym, coming to his restaurant here in Bacolor, and subscribing to my channel. We would be much appreciate, or we would appreciate it. We would much appreciate
Also,
it.
maybe a 5-star review on Spotify.
Yes. And Apple Podcasts as well. That would be amazing. Oh, and of course, if you're watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and comment to the Tap Talk YouTube channel. This episode is going to be very interesting, guys, because it's going to be the first time that I'm doing a Zyn on air. For those of you that don't know what a Zyn is, it's just a nicotine pouch. It's real small. It's only 3 milligrams. Coach James already has one in, but I'm going to be doing it with caffeine. I'm going to try to peer pressure Coach to do it with me.
Yeah,
nicotine.
nice.
You want to try?
Nicotine?
Yeah, just nicotine patch, nothing else.
Honestly?
That's it. Completely legal, nothing wrong. It's just a nicotine patch. You put it in your lip, and it just gives you cognitive abilities and a little bit of a buzz. And then if you don't like it, spit it out. Think about it.
Later.
You're down?
Later.
I'm going to do it right now.
Yeah.
Plus the wonderful signature coffee from here at Wrap It Out. Hey, I had it last week for the first time.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it ever since.
Thank you.
If this restaurant was a lot closer to me, I'd be here all the time just for this. You guys aren't even a coffee house. You guys doing some amazing coffee. This is beautiful.
Thank you, bro.
So I was thinking, guys, over the past week since our last episode, I kind of wanted to dive deep into the mind of a jiu-jitsu coach and just a coach in general, because I think we wouldn't be doing this podcast justice if we didn't explore that, because to my left and to my right, I have 2 coaches of the wonderful jiu-jitsu sport. So I kind of wanted to start off with the philosophy and evolution of your own personal coaching.
Oh, nice.
So how has your approach to learning and teaching jiu-jitsu changed from being a white belt to an instructor? While I pop this in.
So you mean like the perspective from being as a student, as a white belt, beginner in jiu-jitsu, to now us as brown belts coaching, teaching?
Correct.
It's a good question.
If I start having heart palpitations, you're just going to know that I just kind of stopped talking.
Can I smell it?
How much does it cost?
One of these bad boys, like $4, $4 or $5. Yeah. Okay. While you guys are thinking about it, I'm going to show you. You just take a little nicotine pouch here. You either choose the bottom or your top. Do you go top or bottom? Bottom. You go. So I'll go bottom. You just right here,
You just hold it there.
and you're gonna get a nice little buzz.
Yeah.
And you know, one of the best things about this, it kind of like, in a nutshell, it protects your brain from things like Parkinson's and dementia.
Oh, really?
Because you know what they found with like real studies, people who don't get dementia and Parkinson's, you know who they are?
No.
Smokers.
Oh.
So take away like all the bad things. Nicotine is probably the reason why their brains are protected.
Hey, you know what? There's like, how older people in the mountain regions particularly, they like to chew tobacco.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Makes sense.
This is going to be interesting because I took a little bit too much creatine this morning and kind of made my stomach upset. Plus the caffeine, plus the nicotine. This is going to, let's see what happens. It's either going to be the best podcast I've ever done or the worst. Did you want one?
No.
Okay. Back to the
Thank
nature
you.
at hand.
Thank you.
So what are you guys thinking? How has your coaching changed from that first day as a white belt to now
Yeah.
as coaches?
Like lessons or
Just in general, how have you changed?
well, I think the most important the one of the most important realization is that learning is not linear. Meaning, say, you're a white belt, no idea what jiu-jitsu is, you attend a class. You're like the typical gyms, like they teach you a technique. So let's say a close guard, or they teach you a particular pass, a basic pass, like maybe a half guard pass. So you would think, once you're taught these techniques, you're like gonna carry it over to the next class or or once you've learned it, you have it already. But it's not the case. Sometimes it takes a while. It takes years sometimes to really learn the technique or learn the concept. Because again, jiu-jitsu is something you have to do to learn. Like it's 90% doing to learn. And sometimes like just listening or having a coach tell you what the technique is, it's not as effective as actually doing it. So example, I'm teaching an open guard or something. Most people, especially beginners, they're not gonna pick it up right away. So it's gonna take some time of actually doing it, practicing it, developing it. So yeah, that would be I think the most important thing about learning. Because when I was starting, I thought like once it was taught to you, then you're just gonna get it immediately. But it's not the case. So I guess that one. How about you?
Oh, for me, yeah, of course. But for me, I always advise students to learn really basics and fundamentals because that's the foundation of the jiu-jitsu. And yeah, same as what James told us about like open guards. You have to have fundamentals first before learning and understanding the concept of how do you say the new generations of positions right now. Yeah, you have to learn.
Especially since jiu-jitsu is always evolving.
Yeah.
So like I like what Ivan said the previous episode. Like him even as a black belt, he still is learning. So meaning it's not really even about the belt or the years you've spent on the mats. It's more of still refining the things you've learned, making it applicable as jiu-jitsu evolves and grows. So yeah, you still have to like do a lot more. I like what it said about him feeling the positions rather than actually like I used to. I'm sure most people do it. They try to memorize. Like some people like they like to like journal. They write, they memorize. They try to like really do the technique as instructed. But again, that's not always the case because sometimes if you're taught to do a very specific thing like steps, and it doesn't like you as a person like maybe your body type just can't like do the specific moves, then it's something you have to like learn to do on your own based on your mechanics, based on your own structure. So it's the same. You have to constantly learn it, refine it.
Yep.
And especially if you're doing it with someone maybe better than you or different body type as well, you have to adjust.
Yeah.
So there's always a constant learning, adjusting
Like
to the moves.
like half guard before.
Yeah.
Versus half guard now. Like half guard before, you're gonna lock your legs, right? Half guard now is it depends on you, but mostly it's knee shield.
Yeah.
For points of control.
Yeah.
So it's evolving.
It's evolving.
So as coaches, how are you guys staying up to date with something like half guard, old school versus new school half guard?
Oh, that's for James to answer because
Oh, you said that the head coach.
that's for James.
How are you staying? How are you staying current?
Well, the fastest way to like keep up to date is always testing it. So let's say you're gonna try out a new concept or a new style of, let's say for half guard, like the old school way of half guard is you just wanna pinch your knees, like you really wanna chop the leg. Okay, so although it's not right or wrong. Like some people they like to pinch their knees, but sometimes if you try to pinch your knees, you're like more vulnerable of getting flattened, getting the chest
Chest to
your
chest.
knees are too close.
Yeah, that happens to me a lot.
But at the same time, if you keep your knees open, like you want to block the shoulder with your top knee, you're more likely to like prevent the chest to chest. But the guy on top, they're more likely to switch to an over under because your knees are open. They can like switch to like hugging the leg
Then pass you.
and pass you that way. Like instead of focusing on the upper body, the chest, they're gonna go for the hips. You're gonna instead try to pin your hips.
Okay.
So, but by testing the concepts, you're gonna figure out. Even the guy on top, they're gonna be able to figure out what works for a specific person. Depends on what they do in halfway. Like pinching the knees open, getting like a butterfly. Like instead of like using the knees, you're gonna put the foot inside the hip. So stuff like that.
I do have a quick little question
Yeah.
with specifically with the half guard. Let's say you find yourself in an old school half guard.
Mhm.
What's like the best route to getting into the knee shield? Because I actually find a lot of problems. Like say like when I go against someone bigger like a Kuya Andrew.
Yeah.
He's like a big ass
Yeah.
gorilla. Like how can I get that knee to knee shield?
To open.
Yeah.
To open?
Yeah, to open.
So okay. So see if your knees are closed and they're already like pinning your knees between with using their chest or something, for example, they're already pancaking your legs. Of course, as much as possible, you want to prevent that from happening. But let's say they're already pinned it, you want to make since you can't open it anymore because the chest is in the way. So you want to get the knee out, the leg out, and circle it back in.
Oh.
See, so from getting pinned, you circle it out, bring it back in.
Ah.
So like you rotate the knee from the outside going in.
Yeah.
Of course, you still have your hands.
Yes,
to
you're always ready to frame.
Okay.
Or maybe the early prevention of that is just by reinforcing the knee with the elbow. So let's say you're grabbing the collar with your left hand. You connect your elbow to the inside of your knee. That way it's going to be harder to pancake your legs together.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes
So you use your frames to reinforce your structure.
Okay. I have another question about coaching. So, as the coaches of Sunset Valley, what are your thoughts when, let's say, someone just kind of starts coaching on the side? Not like, nothing malicious, but just more like, let's say like a white belt like me asked a blue belt, like, hey, how do you do this? And they just start going into a full lesson. What are your feelings on that as coach?
It's fine. I encourage it. I encourage people to like converse. Because again, if you're going with, let's say you're going with someone, you're having a hard time with them, he's the perfect person to ask. Because he's doing something very specific or different from other people. Then of course you want to ask that person. Let's say you're having a hard time with someone's passing. Well, maybe after class or after the roll, you ask him how was he able to like do that objective. Let's say he was able to like pin you. Like you ask him, how did you like pin me? What were your grips? How do you like prevent me from getting my space back?
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah. If the role is finished or done,
Mhm.
it's okay to ask.
Yeah.
But as for me, I think James would agree also. While rolling, don't ever coach.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to think I'm gonna let the students decide that on their own. Because let's say if you're someone competitive, like you want to compete, you really want to test your skills, your techniques against someone with a in live resistance. So it doesn't make sense if they're gonna coach you in the middle of the roll while you're in that mindset of trying to be competitive, testing your skills. So I encourage the students to let their partner know, hey, I'm trying to I'm gonna be competing. I want you to give me full resistance, and maybe we can just talk afterwards.
Yep.
So you can do it because I understand some students also they're having a hard time, they're getting frustrated. Like maybe in the middle of the roll or of the round, they're gonna ask their partner, oh, I'm having a hard time. You doing this? What do you do? Because I'm getting frustrated. So it's up to them also. If they wanna ask questions during the round or after, I leave it up to them.
But sometimes like higher belts are coaching while rolling with lower belt.
Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't like really pisses me off. You can just wait for the round to get finished.
Yeah.
Then tell the lower belt what mistakes he has done.
Yeah.
Because sometimes before me, parang ginagawa ko parang dahil makakalimutan ako, ang sasabihin ko sa partner ko parang, paalala mo to mamaya ha.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you later.
Yeah.
While rolling.
Yeah.
I hope you understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty about having different coaching styles. You know? Has there ever been have you ever been in a gym where maybe that's not necessarily allowed, or like is the head coach really strict on hey, the lessons come from me? Have you ever experienced that or no?
Maybe
no.
directly, but I guess you can feel it. Maybe they're like, if you just pay attention to the class, like, are the other students doing it as well? So that would be like a good sign. Especially if you're a visiting student, if you're gonna train at other gyms, it's good to just read the room. Like if it's like
that's so important.
Yeah.
Some people don't have that in them.
Yeah.
They don't know how to read a room.
Even in rolling, if you're visiting to another gym, or if someone is visiting us, every time I rolled with a visitor, sometimes I ask if they have injuries.
Yeah.
Because to prevent those injuries. And I always feel his movement while rolling.
Yeah.
So
Again,
if
it's more feel.
If it's giving 30%, 50, just give it back.
Yeah.
If he's giving like 200%, give it back.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to always be a death match.
Yep.
Okay, noted.
Yeah.
Me and Diego just had a death match a couple of days ago.
But again, that's fine too. Because again, like Diego, I think he's gonna compete.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, his mindset is more of the competitive, because he wants to really test the techniques. So that's fine.
Just a side note, I had to take out the Zen. I am zoned right now. I started getting lightheaded. I only had that thing for like 5 minutes. I feel great, but also lightheaded. Whoa.
So yeah, just to add to your question, so I think it's a good question. So instead of like focusing on memorizing all the steps, focus more on feeling the actual position, like what Ivan said. I really like that.
Yeah, because yeah, for sure. I'm gonna try to remember that. Any memorable coaches, not necessarily in BJJ, just you've had from the moment you became an athlete to now. For me specifically, is not necessarily a coach, but it was my music teacher. Remember, I revealed to you guys that I was a band nerd. My music teacher, he was a lead by example person. Never yelled, but in the 2 moments that he did, man, he captured the room, because we were not doing what he wanted, and he decided to yell. Out of the 10 years I knew him, he's only yelled twice. And that was so memorable to me. It made me realize, like, being on 100% volume all the time is not the way, at least for me. That was my like memorable coaching moment I wanted to share.
Okay.
I think one of my most memorable moments with a coach is my boxing coach, my first boxing coach before. He was so good back then, and went to a different animal after decades. But before, he's the one told me, he told me this, like, if you want to train boxing, if you don't want to do it like in a competitive way, you just want to lose weight or exercise, at least learn the basics. Don't punch like you're just doing like aerobics or Taibo. Like, learn the basics.
So really quality.
Exactly, quality. That's why I adopted that. When I after a few years, I'm teaching boxing and Muay Thai. I teach basics. I mean, learn the basics. Not just like you want to lose weight. If you want to lose weight, find another gym, not me.
Yeah.
I think it will also apply in Jiu Jitsu.
Yeah, for sure.
I think in Jiu Jitsu, for me, you cannot do it for fitness only. Because if you don't want to learn the basics, you will have a hard time to learn Jiu Jitsu.
That's good. Yeah. But it's just a secondhand story that was told, but I thought it was really cool. About this, I'm not gonna even mention the name, but he's a very famous high level black belt, elite black belt. So he did a seminar. This was way back. I think I wasn't even playing jiu-jitsu then. I wasn't training then. So this was in maybe 2014 or 15. So this visiting black belt did a seminar. And of course, after the seminar, the black belt always spars with the students. And so there was this student, I think he was a blue belt at the time. He was able to not catch him, but he was able to do a specific move that, like, that the black belt was surprised. Like, then after the roll, he pulled that student aside and asked him about the technique, which was really cool. Like, high level world champion black belt asking a blue belt, or how did you pull that move? Teach me.
Yeah.
So, again, the humility,
Humbleness.
Yeah. Like, you can learn from anyone. As long as if you really feel like, if you have that ego check, that you recognize that the technique was legit, it was really something he did that surprised you or you didn't see coming, and instead of brushing it off as luck or something, you'd rather learn from it, which I think was very cool. Yeah. So yeah, that would be a memorable. Although it's only a secondhand information, firsthand would be. But maybe in general, what I learned from my professors is or maybe this is a trait of all good instructors, is same as the two of you, what you were saying. They always strive for excellence in anything. So they really want to, if it's a move, they want to make sure it's technical of the highest quality, always striving to get there, not sloppy. So what JR was saying, we're not boxing her for just to lose weight or to do aerobics, but you want to practice the art because of the art itself, because you want to make sure of it's the highest quality. So always striving for excellence.
Question for James.
Yeah.
Na-experience mo na to? Yung medyo madaldal na student, ganyan, and then comes to roll, quits within the 5-minute round.
Yeah. Well,
how do you deal with that? I've experienced it. How do you deal?
Yeah, you just have to ignore it. Because again, I encourage anyone to converse, to discuss, talking shop, jiu-jitsu wise. And as long as you're not disrupting the class, as long as you're not holding back the other students from learning, just remember, they're paying to train. So if you're disrupting them, you're affecting their opportunity to learn. So as long as you're not doing that, it's fine. It doesn't bother me.
No, is that how you handle it? No, what do you mean? No, talk to them.
I was pissed one time.
Thank you.
Because upcoming tournament, our first ever tournament after pandemic, Dumao, Alabang. I was rolling with a lower belt, but he talks a lot. He talks a lot. And then I mounted him, and then
talk now.
Yeah, went high mount, and then he tapped. Gasp. I was like, what? Coach, pagod na ako. Dude, we're competing next month. At least be a good teammate to us.
Yeah.
Right? I have to finish the round, even though it happened to me. Like higher belts or lower belts that are too heavy, like pressuring me heavy. I need to finish it.
Yeah.
I mean, because you have to help each other. Regardless, there is an upcoming tournament, at least for self-development, right?
Especially if you decide to compete.
Yeah.
Because again, what we were talking in the car, you have to respect those who compete because it's just the mental preparation of it. It's very difficult. So for you just to sign up, deciding to compete, what comes to that is you have to be prepared mentally and physically.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're committed to it.
Yeah, you have to commit to it. Otherwise, again, we don't encourage everyone to compete. But if you're gonna compete, then I'm gonna think you're gonna give more effort to it. So that includes maybe getting smashed, smashing someone, all in the context of you want to help your teammates and you want to help yourself. Because if you don't go through with that, how are you going to be prepared competing where your opponent's not going to give it to you? And he's going to try to win, you know?
Yeah. No.
There's nothing to add?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So just to kind of dive into your thought process with this specific situation, So you were a month away from competition, and with this student, this student was going to compete. Was he compete? No. So he was okay.
But he consistently trained like at least 4 or 5 times a week. So I was expecting.
Wow, that's a lot.
A lot. That's a lot. I mean, I was expecting. I mean, he can contribute with helping out with each other.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, like he's tired or pressure, making excuses, and I was so pissed. I went off the mats because I don't wanna.
Yeah.
Like, I might say bad things about him.
Yeah.
So I went off the mats. I even told James about that, right?
Yeah.
I remember that.
I actually, I'm not even ashamed to talk about this too much on this podcast, but because it's helped me so much. But the community aspect of jiu-jitsu, I felt, I mean, even only less than a year in, I felt a responsibility this past Saturday to help those that are competing. So it's just, maybe it's a sign of immaturity from that person. Maybe it's a maturity thing because like I want, Brandon and Diego, they're getting ready to compete on the 13th of July and
Kyle.
Kyle. Sorry. I want them to win.
Yeah.
Those are our homies. We want them to win. So I don't know, maybe someone needs to hear that. Like it's almost, if this is your gym and your brothers or your sisters are ready to go and they're going to go compete, it's almost they're not going to say it. The coaches won't say it, but I'll say it. It's almost your responsibility to help them. So not tapping the pressure or maybe just leaving your arm out so they can submit you is a better option. Coach taught me that.
At the very least, if you're not going to be part of the solution in helping them, just don't be a problem. Don't get in the way.
Yup. Good job, James. Yup. I like that.
So, I can't imagine what it's like coaching a big class with so many different types of personalities. Like you got me, like a foreigner who talks hella loud.
You got to feel like a psychologist almost.
Yeah. Like someone like me who talks a lot versus someone you can't even get anything from them. How are you adjusting? How are you adjusting to all these different types of characters and making sure, for example, they understand how to do a proper escape from full mount? Just as an example.
Oh, so basically you're asking like how do you in dealing with these different personalities, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Again, I always want to go back to their learning environment. So let's say 2 different people, 2 different ages, 2 different body structures, 2 different skill levels. So if you're going to teach them a move or something, you can't teach them the same just because of those differences. So instead of trying to teach them a specific thing, you just put them in an environment, partner them with someone same level, uneven skill sets, whether they're better or going with someone better than them. So allowing them to experience those 3 things. So when they're going with someone even, so it's going to be competitive. So like Diego and Kyle, I always partner them because same size, same skill level somewhat, same experience. So when they scrap, it's going to be competitive. So it's going to be good for them because they're going to get to experience an even feel of what competition is, especially when they step on the mats on comp day. So, but you can't always do it like that. You can't always go with someone even. So you also have to go with someone better than you. So you get to feel of the experience of getting smashed, getting frustrated. So it's a part of it. But again, you can't keep doing that also because you might get disheartened. So you have to also go with someone that you're better at someone. That way you get to smash them as well. You get to experience being in the dominant position, controlling. So those 3, even, so it's competitive, someone better than you, so experience getting smashed, getting out of bad positions, and you better than someone, so you get to do the smashing. So doing those 3 things, cycling them, I think it's gonna really speed up their development and learning.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that makes sense because by just doing that, it'll address those different types of personalities all in one class.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
Also,
you get to get the feel for yourself. Like, let's say you're not really so competitive. You don't feel like you want to go with someone, go with someone better than you. So maybe you can adjust it. you're gonna go with someone even, like maybe 40% of the time. Then the next 40% go with someone that you're better than them, and the 20% you're gonna go with someone better than you. That way, your psyche or your mentality is like always intact. Then if you're more competitive, then maybe you're gonna go 60% even, so it's competitive rounds. The 30% you're gonna go with someone better than you, so you feel like you're getting smashed. And the 20% you're gonna go with someone you're better than them. So you can scale it up and down depending on your psychology as well. And since we're growing, Sunset Valley is growing, so we have all that types of characters in the gym. So we'll never run out of like people to learn from.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I remember before, when competition comes, rolling hard rolls, right? Yeah, the 50%, 20% guys. Sometimes I cheat. I didn't know before. Sometimes I cheat. I pick new guys. That's my rest round. But the thing is, I'm dominating. I'm not defending. So I'm thinking, oh, this is bad. I think the better way is, if I want to rest, I'll go with like my same level, and I think I'll just defend. Yeah. Because I think for me that's wrong. If I'm rolling, my resting round is easy, I don't think it would help me.
Yeah. Again,
as for me.
It depends on the person.
Yeah.
It's up to them to like learn what's gonna work for them. Because again, no two people are the same. So everybody learns different things. So it's up to them.
Nice. I want to start off this next question with an example. So I'm going to use Tap Talk Podcast as an example. There are things that our listeners and viewers don't see coming up to this point right now. It takes about 40 minutes for James and I to get here. You're literally working right now.
Yeah.
And then setup takes about 30 minutes. We got 2 cameras. There's hours of editing outside of the podcast. So if what I want to ask you guys, what are the things our students don't see as far as the outside prep that coaches are doing?
Oh, yeah. That's a good question.
I know for a fact, like if I just rolled up like, hey, RJ, you got to coach Thursday class, and I don't prepare, oh man, it's going to be the worst class ever. Just like if I don't prepare for this podcast.
Yeah, I remember before when I was first year of teaching, I just go to the gym. Just teach. I don't have plan. I don't have like curriculum. Because I wasn't taught like that before. So when I met James, went to his class first and then has his phone, like he has lists. I was like, this is how it should be. Like you have lists, you have curriculums. It's not like, okay guys, I saw this on YouTube yesterday, let's do it now.
Yeah.
So preparing, like as for me, like I'm doing something besides Jiu Jitsu. We have Wrap It Out, we have Amara. So thinking of what to teach for a week or teach a certain position for weeks, because you have to learn it, like every detail of it. It's hard. It's not easy.
Yeah.
So that's why, as for me, before I was so strict with, if you're not listening, I'm gonna call your attention before. But of course, James' approach, seeing him like, you don't want to listen, it's up to you. As long as these people are listening.
Yeah.
Man, I think my coaching now, I don't know how many percent. I got it from James, and props to James, bro. How he handled the whole crew, his team. That's what.
I like to again quote Ivan, where he mentioned
it's always Ivan, huh? Good guy. Black belt.
He said a lot of good stuff.
Jiu-Jitsu is not just a physical thing. So when I heard that, of course, I only applied that as a practitioner. I mean, as a student, but that can also apply to coaching or instructing. It can't be just physical. So I think for me right now, coaching is like maybe 70-80% preparation. Because it's easy. If it's just all physical, no preparation, I'm just gonna show up to the gym. I'm just gonna tell my students like to do this, do that. It's gonna be easy. But again, if you want to develop, if you wanna deliver a higher quality product, so in this case, good service of like really wanting your students to learn, then you have to do the preparation. So even you as a restaurateur, you as a businessman, podcaster, you didn't just show up. You need to do the preparation, the planning. So that's what takes the work. So yeah, preparation is key. So what do I do? Like before the class, like maybe the night before. It's me, I'm a night owl. I always do my thinking at night. So I'm already preparing like what I'm gonna teach, how I'm gonna do the classes. I always base it on individual performances. Like again, the psychology. I'm not even conscious that I'm doing it, but I'm actually doing it like that. Like I'm thinking, what drills can I do that I feel like is gonna help these people, especially those competing, those not competing. How can I like combine it where those two personalities will like jive together? They can still learn from one another, even though they have different mindsets at the moment. So yeah, taking those things into consideration in the planning. It's actually showing up, doing the work. It's actually the easy part. It's the planning beforehand. That's the challenge.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
It's not an easy job being a BJJ coach. So football players, they have their touchdowns. Steph Curry has that 3-point shot from the half court, right? That's like a tangible reward for them, that feeling. Does a BJJ coach have something similar? Or, a jiu-jitsu player has, I landed my first triangle successfully. Does a coach have something similar?
Maybe well, for me, of course, barring the gold medals, if you win the competition, of course, that's a tangible representation of, your hard work or what you've worked for. But me as a coach, even something very subtle, like, for example, especially I have a lot of students right now that had no previous experience in jiu-jitsu or any other sports. And to see them from day one to now, like, just simple things like when we're doing a passing drill. So they're trying to pass this person's guard. But of course, the guy in the bottom, they're not going to let them pass their guard. So as they are about to pass the guard, the guy in the bottom, instead of getting past, they're going to try to trap the leg to get them to half guard. And the guy on top, realizing this, he moves the leg out of the way to not get stuck in half guard. So those simple, subtle things. Oh, he knows already or she knows already that you're going to get stuck in half guard. So you're going to move your leg out of the way. So it's something you didn't even teach directly, but they know that if their leg gets wrapped, you're going to stuck in half guard. So that little thing of them not letting their leg get trapped in half guard, I think that's a wow.
Kind of lets you know you're doing your job right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because they're developing their own instincts based on how we conduct the training.
Yeah, you can say one. You can.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily have.
No, we don't have.
Okay.
Basically, it's very intangible.
But for me, I think my Steph Curry or a touchdown. If I can defend the pass, it's a good feeling for me, especially James.
Mm-hmm. Oh, as a jiu-jitsu player.
James.
Okay, got you. Yeah.
If he's having a hard time passing me, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. If he passes me like last 3 seconds of the round,
mm-hmm.
I'm good with that because it's at a point.
Yeah.
You have to establish it for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
For sure, that's a win. Yeah.
It's very tangible, but those little things, it's gonna add up.
Yeah.
In your confidence, in your
confidence,
like, love for the sport.
Yep.
Almost the same question, but like, do you have any proud coaching moments?
Oh, with
Me with Divine, yeah, for sure.
Of course, me with Patrick, PJ. PJ,
yeah.
Nice. Shout out to PJ.
Yeah. Shout out to PJ.
Why PJ though? What made you feel proud of him?
Because when I started teaching last year, it's beginners class, right? So I have white belts, mostly white belts, and PJ came white belt, but it's already good. But I mean, he was able to polish his game more, training with us, and of course, with the help of you guys also, like preparing for the upcoming competition of Patrick. So there you go.
You mentioned Divine.
Yeah.
Was it specifically when she hit that sick ass armbar in
Not even
competition?
that.
Just in general.
I was expecting that. It's more of
I was
Just,
expecting that.
remember when we were watching the competitions, like I wasn't new. Like there was this kid I was telling you about. Well,
Yeah.
one of the 4 brothers.
We were on the second floor watching
The
down.
match
Yeah.
hasn't even started. It's his first match, and I already know. Oh no, this guy's gonna pull guard, attempt a berimbolo, and catch the armbar. And that's what he did. The 2 matches, he armbars everything.
Yeah, you called it, dude.
He called it before it even started. So with Divine, like our strategy, because I'm not sure of the rules now, but from what I know is for kids, when you get the triangle, you're not supposed to pull the head. Because you're like, I think it's a rule for kids. Like you don't want to like crank the neck or the spine. So
Oh,
you can get disqualified
For kid.
for kids.
I didn't know that.
How about juvenile?
Yun nga, I'm not sure of the rules anymore, but that's just what
Okay.
I know. So from kids, I'm not sure if they still do that now. But anyway, since I'm not sure, I just told Divine, because Divine has good triangles. She's able to she can get she's able to trap the armpit and neck with her legs. So I always told her, when you get the triangle, don't pull the head. Don't even finish the triangle. Just go for an armbar.
Makes
Because
sense.
for kids, you only have to extend the arm. They don't even have to tap. So once the arm is extended, the referee will stop the match. So she's taken that to heart. So she's always going to go for the armbar even from a triangle. And she only has to extend it, straighten it. Without them tapping, the referee will stop the match. So that's why she's able to win.
But that was smooth. Divine.
Yeah.
That was smooth.
So it's strategy. So imagine a kid can strategize like that.
Yeah.
That's a win.
I'm not even her coach, and I felt proud. I just can't imagine how you felt seeing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and she's also the one. She has no experience. Like her experience was just gaming. I think she just plays on the computer. That's why her mom enrolled her to Jiu Jitsu, because she's spending so much time on her tablet or her iPad.
oh really?
Yeah,
Nice.
so it's a common story for kids.
Yeah.
But Divine is, she's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a
She's good.
natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is.
She is a natural. Okay, before we move on from the mindset of a coach, I want to ask one last question. Unless you guys can definitely talk about whatever you want, but were there, now this is more specifically with just BJJ, but have there been any aha moments since white belt to now? And when I say aha, I mean just this enlightening moment. We're like, whoa.
With
Just in your BJJ career, coaching or not.
coaching.
Yeah. Give me an aha moment.
Can it be a dish breaking realization moment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I have one. So when I started jiu-jitsu, listening to Joe Rogan, to other people who train jiu-jitsu, for some reason, when you train jiu-jitsu, you feel your ego's gonna be killed, or basically there are a lot of people are nice. They become nice when they train jiu-jitsu. So I guess that would be one of the aha or eureka moments. Just like anywhere in life, there are good and bad people. So BJJ is not an exception. So just because you're a black belt doesn't mean you're going to be a good person. So white, black, it doesn't really matter. Just like anywhere in life, any industry, any sport, there are good and bad people. Same as jiu-jitsu. So when I realized that, okay, so these are just people as well, humans, flawed humans.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So I'm sure even in culinary, chef, there are good chefs,
Yeah.
bad chefs.
Yeah.
Same.
Not every chef's an asshole.
Yes.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's not a Gordon Ramsay, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people tend to think.
There's that saying now, good in jiu-jitsu, bad in life.
Man, with the amount of time I spend thinking about jiu-jitsu, I might be a little bit imbalanced.
I think one of my aha. I don't know if it's aha.
Uh-huh.
When I when I trained at Atos HQ sa Ateneo pa
Yeah.
nun. It's Prof Ralph Go's
Ralph
class.
Go, yeah.
And that's the first time I will see him. But I know him because of he's famous in the Philippines. I'm not in the Philippines only, even in Brazil.
Yeah.
He's very, very famous. I saw him. Went to the room. Diba yung room ng ano, diba?
And also for the people who don't know who Ralph Go is,
Yeah.
he's like he's the OG. I think he's in my opinion, he's the best jiu-jitsu practitioner in the Philippines. He won silver in Worlds, silver in Brasileiros. He only lost to Leandro Lo.
Mm-hmm.
Silver in Worlds, silver in Brasileiro, silver in Europeans, as a brown belt. So, when you look at him, he's a typical. He looks nerdy. He looks so unathletic.
That's the aha thing I'm talking about. I saw him enter the room.
Yeah.
Holding his gi and walking. I'm like, he doesn't look like a badass.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a badass.
Yeah.
And stitching very, very technical.
soft-spoken.
Soft-spoken. Stitching like this. Correct me if I'm wrong. So you can get the underhook here and like that.
Yeah.
It's very, very soft-spoken.
Very introverted.
And I was sitting down on the side. He called me like, "You want to roll?" I was like, "Of course, of course. Who doesn't want to roll with you?"
Yeah. Yeah.
I said yes. He didn't. He's not an a-hole.
Yeah.
no.
No. He lets me move,
Yeah.
but I don't know what I'm doing. Every time I move, he just countered it. It's like,
Were you nervous when he asked you?
I know. I was happy.
You're happy.
I was happy.
It was an honor.
It was an honor rolling with him. I was on the side. Hey, alam mo yung age ko, diba?
Yeah.
I was on the side. Said, okay lang, roll tayo. He's asking me if it's okay. I was like, very, very humble, man.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love hearing about that.
Of course, he don't remember that. He don't remember me. But
You never know. You never know.
Speaking of Ralph Go, that's where I really like the striving for excellence.
Yes.
I got it from he's one of the guys that really has inspired me like to strive for excellence, because he would teach you a technique or he would like teach you a sequence. Then during the rolling, he's gonna do it to everyone. He's gonna do it because you drilled it. He was teaching it what to do. Then he's already gonna do it, but you won't be able to stop it. So he's given you the solution. He's given you whatever, and yet you can't stop it.
Yeah.
And he does it to everyone.
I'm very familiar
James,
with that feeling.
since we're Maka guys, can we promote Prof. Ralph's?
So actually, Professor Ralph Go, he owns the, what's the name of the company? Sorry, Ralph, Superfood Grocer,
Superfoods Grocer.
where they sell superfoods like cacao nibs.
Okay.
Spirulina.
Is Prof. Ralph vegan?
Yes, he's also 100% vegan.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
vegan black belt.
Vegan black belt jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
player. Interesting.
Yeah.
What a badass.
Yeah, Superfood
Superfood
Grocer.
Grocer.
Check it out.
Yeah, I'm a long-time user of maca powder.
Same here.
Yeah, maybe you should tell us more about it. Your experience with maca.
Okay. So the first time I tried maca, way back 2015 with Mickey.
Yeah.
Real quick, can you tell us what maca is?
James,
Oh,
please.
so maca-
He's more knowledgeable about maca.
Maca, they consider it as a superfood. It comes from Peru. I'm not sure if it's just in Peru, but it comes from it's a root that grows on
Parang Peru nga yata.
volcanic soil.
Okay.
So, as you know, volcanic soil, it's very harsh. So not a lot of things grow there because it's very harsh. It kills off a lot of things. So maca survives on the volcanic soil, and so it absorbs all the nutrients from the ground, from the soil. And so that's why it's very good for your health. So vitality, managing hormones, stress levels. So it's good for fertility. So I'm gonna tell my story first.
Yeah,
Sure.
sure. Sure.
When I met my wife now, like she had problems. Like she has like I'm not sure if it's PCOS or particularly her condition is endometriosis.
Okay.
So she has like a condition in her fallopian tube, I think.
It affects the fertility.
It affects fertility. So my wife, before I met her, she already had half of hers removed.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Half of the fallopian tube and the ovary removed already. 'Cause
Oh.
she was developing cysts. So basically, the doctors were telling her, you're not going to have a baby anymore. You might like look into adoption or maybe what you call it, in vitro fertilization.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely not the traditional route of like having a baby because it's not gonna be called this. It's not, you're gonna be having a hard
It's
time.
a low chance.
Low chance. And so during this time, maybe we were still dating. I was regularly taking Maka. I was a blue belt before I got my purple belt. I was taking it because I was still competing at that time. So I really liked it for stress management. Balancing the hormones, especially after I used to train like twice a day, plus lifting, plus cycling. So it helped a lot. I feel like in managing my stress. And this was the time she was studying for board exams. So she was also stressed. So hey, but why not take this also? It's helping me. And she was taking it. And then bro, after maybe 2 months, she got pregnant.
Wow,
So it
that
was a
fast.
miracle. So Tyler is actually a miracle.
Wow.
Well, when she showed me the, what do you call this, when somebody gets pregnant, the
Pregnancy test.
yeah, no
Mhm.
way, I don't believe you. You're fucking with me.
Yeah.
And then we went to the first time I saw the ultrasound. Oh shit! So you're really pregnant?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you think it's because of the Maka?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a
That's the
similar?
only
Yeah.
thing that's changed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I tried Maka way back 2015 with Mickey.
Tell the background.
Yeah. I don't like it. I don't like Maka. I don't like Maka. The taste. At
Yeah.
first, initial.
Uh huh.
But if you'll get used to it. And then 2021, I'm going to say this story. 2021, we had a miscarriage. She was in States back then when,
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah. Day before, and I think hours before, she went on a plane. We tested. She's negative. And then, yeah, went to the States, walking, travel every day. And then, yeah, we got a miscarriage. And then, yeah, trying. And then, sperm count? Yeah.
Oh, you did the tests.
I did a
Fertility
test.
Mhm.
I did a test count.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you checked your
It's sperm.
uh-huh.
It's low.
Oh.
Low, bro. If we're talking about you should have 10 sperm cells, mine is so low.
Maybe it's because of the stress.
Yeah, baby stress. I don't know.
Interesting.
And then 2022, we trained together, James. And then he told me like, bro, try Maka. Like Tyler, you have another friend, right?
Yeah, I have another friend also.
Another friend. Then, of course, I was convincing Kat. She doesn't like the taste also.
Yeah. So the taste, it's 50-50. Some people like it.
Now I like
some
it.
people don't.
Before, I mixed it with smoothie.
Mm-hmm.
Then James told me he's just scooping it and
Yeah.
water.
Snort it.
Yeah. And okay. We tried it. And then after I think I'm not sure, James. I think maybe at least 6 months.
Yeah. It's something you really have
6
to like
months.
be consistent about.
I was training. I was training December. January. Jungle Base. Your first week in Jungle Base.
Yeah.
Kat messaged me on my way home. Babe, by pregnancy test.
Oh shit.
And I was like, why? Nothing. I said, are you delayed? Yeah. Like 8 days. Cause she's regular. But when we got the miscarriage, she's always delayed like 9 months, then retest negative. And then
9 months?
9 days. Sorry,
9
sorry,
days.
9 days. Sorry, 9 days. Sorry, guys. And then message me like, bye, pregnant. Okay. And then the next morning, having breakfast, she tested, and then she called me like, babe, said, what's up? I think I'm pregnant. What? And then I look at the pregnancy test. It's very, very red. It's very, very
Yeah.
And then I was so excited. And then there's another pregnancy test, different brand. He tested it again. It's not that dark, but it's not that red, but it's like 80% red. And we were so happy. And so Kat is telling me na we need to go to the OB. Yeah. She said tomorrow. What tomorrow? Today. I said today. And then I went, I think 2 days after or a week after, went to training again. Told James, I don't want to mess our, Then I told James, like, bro, said, what's up? Kat is pregnant. And he was like, oh, PI, di ba sabi ko sa'yo? That's why we're calling ourselves like Maka Boys. Boys.
Yeah.
Even Aris, bro.
Yeah.
Even Aris.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
Even
my
Aris.
friend, like he's before I recommended to JR, one of my close friends also has problems with his wife. Yeah. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna let them maybe one day when guests. I'll tell them. But basically,
Pero siya yun, no? Yeah.
So they've almost they spent a lot of money for in vitro. So
wow.
I think he said the cost was like almost buying like a Land Cruiser.
Yeah.
So expensive.
Per
total. Yep. So he spent like more than 1 million pesos already.
Without a guarantee of getting pregnant.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just recommended it, try Maka. But it's something you have to do consistently. And yeah. They have a 2-year-old now.
James, you're responsible for at least 5 births, dude.
and four births.
And just to clear these things out, after our wives got pregnant, we're still using Maka.
Oh, okay.
We didn't use it just for the sake.
Yeah.
But I mean,
so overall health benefits.
Yeah, it helped.
Yeah.
And
health benefits.
Just to clarify, both you and your wife were taking Maka when you got pregnant?
Yeah.
Both you and your wife were okay.
Has to be both.
Got to be both. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting, man. Sorry. Once again, you can remind the listeners they can find it from Coach Ralph's.
Yeah. Superfood Grocer. It's on Shopee, Lazada.
Oh, wow. So it's readily available for everybody. Okay. Dope.
Superfood Grocer.
Also, probably why he's such a great Jiu Jitsu practitioner. The Maka powder. I'm going to start taking it just for that. From white to blue is because of my Maka powder. And then I'll have 5 kids too. Wow. Man. Always a learning experience here on the Top Talk podcast. All right, guys, we got more listener questions.
Yeah.
So
I have a question.
Yeah, please.
Because you asked us about how we coach, our coaching perspective. How do you handle your kitchen stuff in the States? It's like, basically, it's like you're also coaching.
I've adopted a similar style, much like you guys and that of my old music teacher.
What's the difference before how you handle your stuff without jiu-jitsu and now with jiu-jitsu?
I see. Okay. So I've actually got to test this out. For sure, I am way more calm with my kids. Not my kids, excuse me. They're not kids. I'm way more calm with my staff right now. Yeah. They can come at me with, hey, hopefully this never happens. They come at me like, hey, our kitchen's on fire. Bro, usually I'd be like, oh, fuck. And then I look to Carla right now and then I'll just be like, oh, this is like the most extreme example. And I like lose my shit before
you snap,
before I calm myself. That was my go-to thing always leading up to jiu-jitsu. It was always like, oh shit. And then about 30 minutes to an hour later, I can think properly. Just imagine those key 30 minutes to an hour of wasted time of me just losing it. Thank God for Carla. She's not like that. But now, and I can say this has really happened because we had an oh shit moment when I was in the US a couple months ago. I was able to like think very clearly 3 steps ahead of what needs to happen. I'm not saying I made the most perfect decisions, but I saved that 30 minutes to an hour of just wasted time of panicking. So my panic reaction has gotten really good. And I credit that 100% to jiu-jitsu because we talked about it
staying cool under pressure.
Yeah, like last podcast. I'm not dying right now.
Yeah.
There's no one choking on top of me. I'm not tapping to pressure. So that's probably the biggest change I've made as a boss, I guess.
Nice.
It's just being cool, calm, collected under high pressure situations. I will never stop wanting to be better at that and I have a long way to go. I think it's a continuous thing for the rest of your life of how you handle high pressure situations. But I say it like a broken record. I would recommend this sport to anybody who wants to be a better entrepreneur. Like, do jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
Simultaneously while you're trying to grow your business.
Yep.
Striving for excellence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. To tie it
Perfect.
all back together. So let's get to these listeners. Great question, by the way.
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, before we go, I have one question for you. So
let's go.
what are your aha or eureka moments? So from
Okay.
before starting jiu-jitsu, starting it, and now maybe a year almost, what are like your realizations?
The first one to come is kind of like it's not necessarily related to jiu-jitsu, but it is. So last week it was my son's birthday.
Yep.
Most of the gym was there, and we were in the ball pit all together. The whole gym was there, and I was just looking at it, I was like, man, this is such a beautiful moment, like having the whole crew there. And just as like a foreigner here to this country, I was like, wow, I've really like earned a family here. And it was very heartwarming to me. Like I was recording, and then I was just like, I almost teared up a little bit. I was like, this is such a beautiful moment that you guys were willing to come to my son's birthday. And we haven't even known each other more than a year yet. And I really
welcome to the cult.
Thank you. Yes, exactly, dude. And cults aren't that bad, especially if you're in the cult of Sunset Valley
And
Jiu-Jitsu.
imagining we are friends, right?
Yes.
But not with not our wives, but we were able to convince our wives to to go.
You know what's funny? After the party, Carla was like, "Man, I want to hang out with your family more." She's like, "We should do more stuff like that." I was like, "Yeah." And that came from my wife. You know what I mean? I was like, that was like,
Carla.
hell yeah, dude. I was like, this is
even Kat 2 days ago, she just said, "Babe, what's up? Why don't you and RJ collab in Angeles, make a food truck?" I was like,
Yeah, you should.
right?
Shawarma. Shama
Man, dude, we
shawarma.
should. I know we have to. I know we
Let's plan it. Let's plan it.
We said it on the podcast. Maybe we're putting it into existence. And an actual like jiu-jitsu aha moment. It was a very simple one. I was in the morning classes, the beginner classes, Coach JR reveals a lot of his strengths to us. So to me and Diego, he'll kind of teach us his game. And the ninja choke is something he likes to, I've been asking a lot about, and I was able to hit it. And I wasn't proud that I was able to hit it. It was like these neural pathways opened up because it was such a weird concept to me because there's so many steps to it. You got to add pressure. You got to take out your lapel. You got to wrap it around their neck, and then you got to turn. That's too many steps for my old fucking brain, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, whoa, I didn't even have to think step 1, step 2, step 3. I just like did it. Yeah. And I was like, oh, my muscles remembered.
No, yeah. Because like in a position or a submission, if there will be like 10 steps, given 10 steps, if you're doing it like real time, you can do it like 1, 2, 3 simultaneously, 3, 4, 5 simultaneously. You don't have like to do it like step by step.
Yeah. And you've experienced that in competition. Like when you competed, were you thinking of the steps?
No,
you weren't.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
What did you say about the first podcast? You didn't listen to us?
Yeah. Yep. I said went straight for it.
Yeah.
Man. And I mean, it's kind of like a dangerous thing too, because once you get those aha moments, you're like, I want that again.
Mm.
But it's also what motivates me. Okay. Listener questions. Well, we're at the hour mark. You guys good? You want to go more? Okay.
Good.
Okay, cool. So one of our listeners asked, what are your thoughts on the Gracie theory of not teaching techniques that won't apply to the streets? So, for example, they do not, this is what I'm told. This is, don't quote me on this, but they don't teach things like deep half or berimbolo, because if you have to do this on the street, it's going to put you in a compromising position. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Listener question, by the way.
I guess if you're focused, if you're an MMA fighter, it makes sense. But if you're practicing the sport jiu-jitsu, then I don't think so. Because again, there's this black belt. I like his philosophy. His name is Chris Howder. So his philosophy is think street. So meaning when you're practicing the jiu-jitsu, sometimes you're thinking street. So how you apply your guard, how you do your guard, how you do your passing. You're thinking street, meaning is there any point where my opponent can strike me? So that means thinking street. Train sport. So meaning that's where the rules come in. Let's say what is your sport? Is it no-gi? Is it points jiu-jitsu, IBJJF, sub only? So you train specifically at the sport you're gonna focus on, and you practice the art. I like that because again, jiu-jitsu caters to a wide variety of people. So if you're the type you want to train, you're gonna be an MMA fighter, then it makes sense. If you don't want to practice the most moves in jiu-jitsu, in sport jiu-jitsu, because let's say if you're in an MMA fight, there's no spider guard, there's no sleeves, so it makes sense in that context. But a lot of people, especially in our gym, they train for the sport. So it doesn't make sense if they're gonna leave that part of it. If they're not gonna train deep half or spider guard, then your jiu-jitsu will be very limited in that context of sport jiu-jitsu. So I think there's a room for all those three: thinking street, practicing sport, and thinking street, practicing sport. Training sport and practicing the art. Yeah, that's my answer to that.
What? No, I just remember one of my friend. We were in a bar, so we had a fight.
Yeah. That's the great question. Yes,
I know that.
Tell me more.
I'm not gonna.
I already know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know that story.
I don't. Tell me more.
He ripped. You have blood. He ripped the shirt and had a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Sits down. Went to Del Riva. This is true story.
In a bar.
This is true story. I'm not. James knows.
Yeah.
Wait, so he ripped a shirt on purpose?
On purpose.
So he could hit DLR?
No, not really.
Oh, to look like a badass.
It's like, fuck. Said,
I guess maybe so the guy can't grip him.
or maybe
He's thinking too much, thinking sport.
Yeah.
Okay, so this person went to DLR. What happened?
He went. I said, "Tangina mo, tumayo ka dyan." Yeah, true story.
So wait, how did he win?
Yeah, because I told him to stand up. I told him to, bro, stand up. Stand up. This is a street fight. Well, anyway, going back to your question.
Man, I wish I could have been there for this.
Sports jiu-jitsu and, yeah, I think as for me, sports jiu-jitsu, for me, you can also apply it on street. As for me, you just have to be mindful. Yeah. Not do DLR or not do deep half. Yeah, it depends on the context, right?
Depends on the context. Me personally, I'll go finish.
Yeah, sure.
So
go.
how I would apply the thinking street. Let's say you're rolling, you're sparring with someone. Especially I do this with beginners because I feel like beginners, they give out the real reactions.
Yeah.
Because they don't know any sport yet. They don't know De La Hiva, they don't know guard passing. So they're just gonna put their weight. They're gonna be very highly tense. So what I do, especially going with beginners, I always think, can this person punch me or headbutt me or kick me in any situation? So let's say when I'm playing guard, instead of holding the sleeve, I'm gonna do wrist control. When I go close guard, I break the posture, I hug the head, I lock one of the arms, and I feel like, can he punch me in this position? Can he knock me out? How can I reverse a situation with by not relying on grips or in the sport jiu-jitsu thinking? So like that, you can practice sport or practice jiu-jitsu in that way.
Yeah. Even
again, you can so if you just focus on one, then you may be good on that one aspect, but you're gonna leave out the other two. But if you want to practice it as a whole, you can do it. You can apply it.
Even when coaching, you're coaching sports jiu-jitsu, you can apply it also in street fight. Because I think I heard this with James. I also apply this. If you could say this kinds of words if you're gonna stand up on base, you have to post your hand.
Yeah.
If you want to fight. if you're on a street fight, you can run. Like
Yeah.
you can apply it while teaching.
Yes.
Yes. It's not really like focusing on sports jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
only.
Yeah.
Maybe Gracie's have sports jiu-jitsu, they have combat jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
they have self-defense
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu. And yeah, it depends on the context, like what James
And I
told me.
think I kind of unconsciously, I think I do that. Like when I'm explaining the concept
Yeah,
of top and
unconsciously.
bottom, like especially when we're working on pinning positions.
Mhm.
Like I always tell the students, guys, if you can't, whether it's a street fight,
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu match, if the person can pin you down and you can't get up, how can you run away if
Yeah.
it's a street fight?
Yeah.
Yep.
So your ability to like manage the distance or get out of pins and stand up and run away, that's self-defense when
Yep.
you think about it.
Like yesterday, I was teaching kids class. Yeah, stand up on base, posting the hand.
Yeah.
I said in jiu-jitsu, you can recover guard,
Yeah.
or if you want to stand up, you can start the fight from standing up. Or if you're on a street fight, you could.
Yeah.
If you don't want to fight, you could
Yeah.
run.
In the short year that I've been doing jiu-jitsu, I've already changed my mindset. If I was ever presented a situation, there was someone trying to hurt me or my family, especially if I'm in America. Well, let's say it's just me, not trying to hurt my family. If someone's trying to hurt your family, that's different. I'm going to take out my gun and I'm going to shoot them. But if we're in America, but if it was just me one-on-one, I've completely changed my mindset. And I'm just so happy that I've taken jiu-jitsu, because before, when I was just doing Muay Thai, it was always, punch, leg kick, knock this person out. But now that I've like really like deep dived into the consequences of things that could happen to that person, it really could end bad for you, especially if you live in California. It's not a defend yourself type of state. The fact that I have a base knowledge of being able to hold someone or escape and run away, that's going to be the first thing I do.
That's money.
Yep. Let's say if I'm at my parents' grocery store, I'm not necessarily going to want them to escape, but also I cannot hurt this person or they're going to sue me.
Yeah.
So at least I can hold them down in
Until the
whatever.
cops come.
Control them.
Until the cops come and control them. I feel confident in doing that when someone with zero experience, just like some,
Yeah.
average Joe who wants to steal from me.
Yeah.
That happened with Matt Serra. If you
Yeah, the
Matt
restaurant.
Serra.
Yeah.
Yeah, the restaurant.
There was this drunk guy, like harassing him.
Mm-hmm.
Even in New York, a Filipino guy. I don't think if he's a black belt or brown belt. He controlled the guy. Wait for the police.
Yep. This sport has really balanced me out. And I think we talked about this before. Jiu-jitsu. I mean, Muay Thai is kind of a gateway drug to Jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
Go.
What happened? MOA. Comp. May snatcher. Esakto may nagka-cut weight. Totoo, bro. No kidding. May nagka-cut weight. Di ba yung mga nagka-cut weight dun sa may sidewalk?
Bullpen, yeah.
Yeah.
Sa warm-up area.
Sabaw. Pucha, may nakita sila. Snatcher to. Kinontrol, neon belly. True story, bro.
Who?
I don't know the guy.
Oh, but
I
it
don't know
happened.
that. It
It
happened. I think it's either between 2015 to 17.
Wrong place at the wrong time for
Wrong
that
place
snatch.
at the wrong time.
Like when someone tried to rob John Jones, or
Yeah.
what was the other guy? The another UFC fighter. It's just like, man.
Yeah. So again, adding to that, I think that's a very common aha or eureka moment for
Mhm.
people starting jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Because let's say when you're watching jiu-jitsu, you have no idea. You feel like, oh, it's so easy. I can just stand up and punch the guy. That's the typical mindset. That it's gonna be super easy to get up, push the guy away. But when you're actually there and someone's pinning you, not even have to be a collar belt. Like if you're training for a year already, and let's say there's a new person, even if the person is like stronger than the person, once he is on the mat and someone's pinning him down, it's not gonna be super easy to get out. So I think it's a eureka moment for a lot of people.
Yeah. And once again, like what Ivan said last week, there are so many people who don't even know what this feels like.
Yeah.
Just to touch
Yeah.
somebody, or what this feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just imagine.
A trained killer. doing
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
to you.
You're fucked.
Like a John Jones.
Yeah. Dude, you're fucked, man. Just knowing what it's like to be squeezed. That's such an important thing you need to know. I think. It's crazy, man. This should be like a state mandated sport that you have to do. Should be available
should.
for free for everybody.
Yeah.
Join our cult right now. Sunset Valley Show, 1-800. I know you got to go. We got one more question. One more listener question. Favorite.
Still have time.
You still have time? Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite Filipino street food.
Street food?
Yep.
Filipino street food.
Favorite Filipino street food. You can only choose one.
Oh, dude, okoy. Okay for me, bro.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. Why?
I don't know if it's a street food.
It is. Why?
I just love it. The vinegar
That's good enough.
and the lumpia. But the thing in lumpia is not Filipino, right? It's Chinese.
Influence.
I don't know, man. We took
Influence.
it. Well, like, what is Filipino really, though? You know what I mean? So
But for me, okay.
okay.
I'd have to say Toron.
Toron.
I like desserts.
Nice. Mine's Kwek. Oh,
Kwek.
here in the Philippines,
Kwek.
dude. I have
Really?
not found a good spot.
Is
in the United
it
States.
because of the kwek itself or because of the sauce?
I think it's like
It's okay.
I think it's the mixture of like brake dust and then smoke. I think you just can't beat
Shut
that.
up. No, really. No, what's your favorite? Really, kwek?
Yeah, Kwek. I love the Kwek here, man. Oh, that's so good. I think it's the sauce. Like the sauce,
Yeah.
the way they do it, the freshness of it.
Yeah.
And I think just the availableness of it, because it's hard to find Kwek, at least where I live. Not a lot of people do it.
Nepo. In Nepo.
Oh, yeah.
Nepo Mall. Yeah.
Yep.
There's when we were a kid, we will cook fish balls, squid balls at home, then make some sauce. But it's not like interesting and like eating it outside with other people.
Yeah. That's
Doing the sauce.
Man,
It's not so good without all the pollution.
Yeah.
The brake dust. I told you it's the brake dust that makes it taste way better.
And the saliva from
Yeah.
all the people dipping in the sauce.
Yeah.
We should try ugbo. Alam mo yung ugbo?
No.
Yung sa Tondo?
No.
It's a long strip of food mixed with Filipinos and like shawarma.
Wait.
Street shawarma. And
So you've never been to Chinatown?
No.
Dude, it's
I
the
haven't.
oldest Chinatown in the world.
Yeah, I know.
Manila.
I know. I haven't been.
sa Binondo.
Oldest Chinatown.
I need to go.
The Chinese restaurants are legit.
Yeah.
Old school Chinese restaurants.
Yeah.
Their interior, it's their tile is this small only.
Yeah.
Yung mga tiles, sobra.
You know if it smells like
Yeah.
old used socks.
Yeah,
It's legit.
yeah, it's legit.
You know you're in the right place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Good to know.
I'll apply it in boxing, in Muay Thai. If you went to a gym, boxing gym, Muay Thai gym, fancy, super clean, it's not a legit gym.
It's an aerobic gym.
Yeah. But if you will go to a gym, messy bag.
Day old socks.
Yeah, the gloves are sweaty.
It should smell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
it should
remember my
stink.
coach.
Yeah.
I don't have a gloves back then. And then went to the gym, having my reps. And then I asked him, Coach, anong pwedeng gamitin na gloves? And then he said, pili ka lang. Yung mabaho at medyo mabaho. Yeah. If it's a legit gym, should be...
Yeah. I mean, unless it's like day one of this brand new gym, then
Yeah.
it should have a certain funk to it.
But don't be wrong about Jungle Base. Jungle Base is clean, but
Yeah.
it's legit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Did you guys know that I didn't read the set list for last night's event? They had some big like names. Like famous people were there last night. Did you know that?
Where
The old lead singer of that one Filipino group. His last name's like
the music festival.
the music yesterday. There was like famous people there last night. I was like, okay.
Or check ko nga.
What are you looking at?
No, the event yesterday at
Yeah.
Junk.
Yeah, my wife was really upset that I didn't look at the set list because there was.
You were planning on going?
No, I wasn't. But then I saw Jungle Bass's story and I was like, oh shoot, that's the former lead singer of this famous band that I can't think of right now. But
Kitchenadal? No. Kitchenadal? No.
oh, Carla did mention them. Last name's Salonga. His last name's Salonga.
Lea Salonga?
No, not Leia. Not Leia Salonga. Gosh darn it. But anyways, we did it again, guys. We
Yep.
did it again. Episode 6. Check. We did it. Shout out to our guests that we've had thus far. Shout out to our listeners. Is there anything you guys want to plug for this week? Anything coming up before we end the pod?
Nothing much. Just support Wrap It Out Kitchen in Bacolor, Pampanga. Homes and Gardens Resort, also in Bacolor, Pampanga. And of course, Top Talk. Please support, like and share.
Like and share.
Like and share.
Yep.
5-star review on Spotify.
Yup.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Very important.
James.
Sunset Valley, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, Jungle Based Fitness. See you guys there. Classes Monday through Saturday.
Everybody
mornings and evenings.
is welcome.
Everyone's welcome.
Everyone's welcome.
For me, I'd like to just promote my other YouTube channel. I'm about 15 listeners away from getting monetized, and that would mean a lot to me because I've been doing YouTube for like 5 years now. It's a pure passion for me. I don't make any money. I just love doing it. In your search bar, type in Kuya RJ and you'll find me. Thanks for listening, guys. I love you guys. See you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Peace. Good job, guys. Solid.
Solid.
Solid.